10 years ago, I was in over £65,000 worth of debt, spread across I don't even know how many credit cards. And listen, I was working stupid hours, 7 days a week, doing everything that I was told to do. The problem wasn't the work. The problem was that one belief that was stuck inside my head, one sentence, right? And when I finally got rid of that one sentence, the money turned around within months. So let me tell you what it was. Because if you're working hard right now and you're still broke, you've probably got it too. You just can't see it yet. Now, before I tell you what it is, listen. It's going to sound so stupid, so small. You're going to hear it and go, that's it, Mindy? That's a big secret? That's exactly why it's so dangerous, right? It doesn't sound like a problem. It sounds like good sound advice. Your parents probably drummed it inside of your mind like mine did. Your teachers, your upbringing, the whole world pats you on the back for believing it. All while you got a ceiling on your income and you can't see it. Now here's what we're going to do today. I'm going to take you back to when I hit £65,000 worth of debt and what I was telling myself about the money back then. Then I'll show you exactly how I found this belief and ripped it right out. No candles, no feathers, no crystals inside your pocket, none of that crazy woo-woo stuff. And at the end, I'm going to give you the 3 things to do this week to find yours. Now the third one, this one, everybody skips. It also is the one that moves the money, so stay with me. So when people hear 65,000 worth of debt, they think one big mistake, some dodgy investment, one bad deal, something that you can point out. It wasn't like that. And guess what? It never is. And here's actually what happened. I hired myself a mentor. And this guy was going to turn me into a multi-millionaire overnight. Now, that was his promise. And I believed it. So I paid him huge sums of money every single month. And guess what? I kept on paying him ridiculous amounts of money every single month for over 3 years. And then the money wasn't coming in fast enough to cover it. Where did it go? On the cards. I maxed out one credit card, got another one, maxed out the second one, got the third one. And every single month, I was telling myself the same freaking thing. Mindy, it's fine. You just need to work harder, keep grinding, keep going on. You'll catch up next month. Then one night I sat down and I actually added it all up. Every single card, every single bank statement. Because honestly, up until that point, I was so scared, I was so freaking nervous to even know what it was. £65,000. I just sat there staring at the number, feeling sick to my stomach. And you know what? The best part was, later on I found out the guy I'd been paying all this money, this so-called business mentor, was actually broke. All the books to his name, the nice suits, the nice talking. This man was sleeping in a small office. And guess what? I wasn't the only one he'd done it to. You know what my first thoughts were staring at the number? I need to work more, I need to work harder. But here's the thing, I was already working 100-hour work weeks. There was nowhere these extra hours were going to come from. It didn't matter. Now, the only answer that I had is if the money's not showing up, you've got to work harder, because that was drummed into me. Because in my head, effort and money were the same thing. And listen, I just need to work harder feels responsible. It feels normal, doesn't it? It feels noble. But guess what? It's not. It's the belief protecting itself, because underneath the work harder, there's something else going on behind the scenes. And once you see it, you can't unsee it. So here it is, the belief that kept me 65,000 in debt while I worked harder than anybody else I knew. You've got to work long and hard if you're going to earn money. See, I told you it sounds small, but look at it again, because that's the rule hiding inside the sentence. The rule that's the silent killer. If the money only comes in from long, hard work, then the money that comes in easy doesn't really count. It doesn't last, because it can't be real, right? There's got to be a catch. Now, every time money started to flow to me, every time something came easy, guess what happened? My subconscious went, no, 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 just like Amy Winehouse. That's not right. You've got to get rid of it. I'd charge too little. I'd work myself into the ground. So I'd actually felt like I earned it. I'd take the hard road on purpose, because that hard road felt normal and honest. Be honest with yourself right now. When money comes in easy, the client says yes without a fight, a deal closes in one call, what's the first thing that you feel? Is it relief? Or is it a little voice going on inside your head, that won't last long? There's got to be a catch somewhere. If it's a little voice, then that's the belief. That's it talking to you right there. Put it in the comments if that's you, because I read all of them and I know this one's going to blow up. So let me show you why this happens, because it isn't magic, right? Your subconscious mind has a setting for how much it feels someone like you should be earning. I call it your financial thermostat. Think about the thermostat stuck on your wall at home. Now, it doesn't care what the weather's doing outside, right? It doesn't care. The room gets too hot, what happens? It kicks in and it cools it back down. Too cold, it heats it back up. It's only got one simple job. Your mind does the exact same thing to your income. Now, my setting was set on survival, not thrival. So when that money came in, I found ways of getting rid of it. Bad decisions, undercharging, buying crap that I didn't need. And when things got really tight, I'd grind just hard enough to get back to broke, but surviving. Not past it, over and over again. This is what was happening. 65 grand's worth of debt, 100-hour work weeks on my own setting was fighting me the whole time. The harder I pushed, the harder it pulled back. Is this making sense? So the question is never, how do I work harder? The question is, who set my thermostat and how do I get my hands on a dial? That's the next part. February 2016, I'm at home, 10:30 at night, perfectly fit and healthy, and out of nowhere I fall critically ill. I get rushed into hospital and the doctor sits on my bed and tells me that in the next 48 hours, they could lose me at any second. And I've told this entire story in another video, but lying on that hospital bed, thinking about my kids, I made a deal with myself. If I walk out this hospital, I'll stop pretending I've got it all figured out and I'll get help from somebody that has got it all figured out. And the difference was this time I was careful, right? So the first guy, I picked him because he sounded good, he looked good. The books, the suits, the big promises, well-spoken. This time I picked someone because he'd had done it many, many times with other people, real results. And I told him my whole story and what I'd been doing and what went wrong and all the grinding that went with it. And he just looked at me and said, "Hey Mindy, it's not working your way, so why don't you try my way?" Simple as that. He was right. Now here's what surprised me. The work wasn't about deep breathing on some mountain somewhere. It was almost embarrassingly simple. The first thing he had me do is trace back my money beliefs back to where they came from. Who did I watch earn money when I was a kid? What did people say about rich people in my house? What did the money conversation sound like? And it all came pouring out right there. Money doesn't grow on trees. Ever heard that? We can't afford it. Rich people are crooks, they're scum. You want something? Guess what? You got to work hard for it. You got to make sacrifices for it. But no one's going to hand you anything. I grew up watching people that I love work themselves into the ground for not a lot of money. So my 8-year-old brain wrote this rule. Money equals long, hard work. And then I spent the next 20 odd years proving my own rule right. But here's the crazy thing that you showed me. I'd already had proof that this rule was bullshit from my own life. When I was 19, I had a carpet cleaning business. I borrowed around about $3,000 from my parents. I brought 2 machines out I didn't even know how to use. My first job was cleaning carpets in a restaurant. $300, it took me 2 hours. My friends would have to work a whole week busting their balls, working 40-hour work weeks to earn less than that. My 19-year-old self had already proven that money doesn't care how much you suffer. And then I forgot it. The old programming just swallowed it whole. I'd make $1,000, spend $1,000. So here's a process and you can see all of it right now. First, catch it in the act. Every time I heard, this won't last, or I've got to work hard for this, in my head, I wrote it down, as simple as that. You can't fix something that you can't see. Second, argue with it, challenge it, go find proof it's wrong. Now there's probably people out there earning way more than you and working half the hours that you are. Think about the times that money came to you easily and you just simply waved it off. For me, it was when I was 19 years old with a carpet cleaning company. The proof is everywhere. The beliefs have just been hiding it from you. Third, and you do this every single day, you practice a new one. Now, I don't mean standing in front of the mirror, jumping up and down, saying, I'm a billionaire, and feeling like a complete fraud. It's got to be something that you can actually accept. Mine was that money responds to the value that I create, not the hours that I suffer or how many hours I work. I wrote it down and said it out loud twice a day, once in the morning, once in the evening, until it stopped feeling like a complete lie. And I won't sugarcoat it, that took me months. Boring? A little bit? Yeah, but it's worth it. But then something strange happened. My habits began changing and so did my bank balance. And no, it's not a fairy tale. There's actual reasons why this works. And once you get it, you'll understand just take more action is the worst advice that you can give someone who's broke. Everybody assumes it goes in order, right? Fix a belief, then fix your actions, and one day the money catches up. Sounds logical. That's not what happened to me. The money moved first, within months. When I say that, people roll their eyes at me. So let me tell you exactly what's going on. The first thing that changed were my pricing conversations. Same services, same prices even at the start. But I stopped flinching when I said my number. And believe me, clients can feel that. Before, I was talking myself down. The other person hadn't even opened their mouth. Nobody taught me some clever pricing scripts or any magical sales scripts. The flinch just left because the belief had gone. Second thing, this one's strange. What I could see changed. Opportunities that had been sitting inside of my inbox a month suddenly became obvious, and they were there the whole time. But my old programming had easy money marked as a trick. So I looked straight past them. So just like your TV, right? If you want to watch the game, you've got to be on the right channel. You can't sit there on the Discovery Channel all night waiting for it to start. It's not going to come on. Change the channel and the game's on. It was always on. I just wasn't tuned in. And third, my decisions got quick. And when you believe that money's scarce and it has to be suffered for, every decision is terrifying. You sit on things that cost you a fortune. And when you believe money responds to value, you move. I made more good decisions in 6 months than I'd made in the previous 6 years. So the debt was cleared. The business grew past anything that I could have ever imagined or done. And one day I walked into the Porsche dealership and brought my brand new Porsche. And if you know my story, you know about the kid when I was 8 years old, sat propped up by the window, waiting from 8 in the morning till 10 at night, waiting for that ride to show up, which never came. This kid finally got his ride. And none of it started with a funnel or an ad account. It started with a notebook, hunting for the one sentence that was stuck in my head as a kid. Now you might be sat there thinking, Mindy, a great story, but how do I find my sentence? Good, that's the right question. Grab a pen and here's your homework. 3 things. This week, not some day, right? Now pay attention to the one that you don't want to do because that's the one that you need. First, run the audit. Get a notebook, and every time money comes up this week, an invoice, a price, a bill, whatever it is, write down the first sentence that your brain says about it. Don't clean it up, don't judge it, don't try to change it, just catch it. By Sunday, you'll have a page full of sentences. And I promise you, one of them is going to make your stomach drop a little bit. Because when you read it back, that's yours. Second, trace it. Take that sentence and ask yourself, whose voice is this? Because it's normally never yours. It's your parents, your grandparents, your guardians, maybe a teacher, your first boss. Somebody doing their best with what they knew. So you're not here to blame anybody, okay? You just need to see that belief is older than your business. Because once you see that, you stop treating it like it's telling you the truth about your business. Third, interrupt it out loud. This is the one thing that most people skip because it feels daft. Every time the old sentence pops up this week, say the new one out loud. Do it with your actual voice, verbalize it. Mine was, money responds to the value that I create, not the hours I suffer. Yours might be different. Your old belief got there with repetition, and repetition is the only way the new one's going to go in. Thinking about it quietly doesn't work. I tried for about 10 years, I really tried. Do that for 1 week, and you'll know more about yourself, your financial thermostat, than most business owners figure out in 10 years. And listen, if you want to go further than a week, I put together a 5-day masterclass where I walk you through the whole process, step by step. There's a link in the description, go grab it. So listen, if you're anything like I was, you're probably one of the hardest working people that you know. And that's exactly why this has been messing with your head. You kept pulling the only lever anybody ever gave you, more effort, and the needle wouldn't move. The problem was a setting. Now you know where the dial is. So make a decision today, right now. Not tomorrow, not when things calm down, today. You're not put on this earth to work 70-hour work weeks and stay f***ing broke. Go find that one sentence, rip the f***er out, and then go make some real money. Because, like I tell my clients, go all out or go back to f***ing bed. Now, if you got value out of this video, you're going to love the next one right here. So make sure you subscribe if you haven't already, because there's a lot more where this came from. And drop me a comment. Tell me the biggest mindset hurdle that you've hit in the last 12 months. I read every single comment, and I'll see you on the next one. Take care.